Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2015 So the World May Hear Awards Gala.
You guys feel good about being here tonight? Are you inspired?
I think each gala takes on a life of its own, and I think this year it's more about the work, so we're all going to come together and celebrate tonight.
Hi, Minneapolis. You guys are great.
It's all for an amazing cause, so anytime I can come out, have a good time, get dressed up, meet some cool people, I'm down to come.
And be able to help with this cause is amazing.
This foundation represents magic.
It's just sort of human beings at their finest.
You see the awesome work that they do around the world and the big hearts that Bill and Tanny have.
I think what Bill and Tanny have been doing is incredible.
So kind, so caring.
I don't know what I would do without my hearing, so being able to give somebody that gift is it's unbelievable.
We're all here to make the world hear better. They made me hear better, so I'm gonna help them any way I can.
The work that they're doing is amazing in terms of it's life-changing.
We're growing our leverage, our ability to contribute and give more to life, and we're just taking that ride. We're looking forward to being part of expanding the capacity to serve so we can do better than we've ever done before.
Welcome once again to another fantastic Starkey Gala, and thank God for Bill Austin. He gives hearing to people who need hearing help all over the world, and that's what they do. Bill and Channy and their crew, they make people hear better.
Let me say that when I was leaving my country, I had a difficult decision to make because President Obama was arriving the next day in Kenya. And I wondered, where do I go? What do I do? My head was telling me to stay, but my heart was telling me to come because of this very worthwhile cause.
I have the great pleasure of introducing two incredible women tonight. You see, Starkey Hearing Foundation is all about finding that hearing aid. They totally focus on providing the gift of hearing and had been working with both No Limits and Kerry Goya School for the Hearing Impaired for a number of years. It's been a perfect match.
Starkey Foundation has been moving with us. Once they came in, they ensured that every child had a hearing aid. This made easy for us, we as teachers, to communicate to the children because they could listen, and within no short time, we saw the education performance rise. And I will say the cause for providing the hearing aids and then speech, we shall empower the children to a great level.
Having a child with a hearing loss is really difficult for parents, and it's overwhelming, and it can be quite painful as they think of the future of their child. Also, having a hearing loss is quite expensive. But then we have Starkey, right? Thank God for Starkey, for helping these low-income families be able to hear. They would not be able to have that without them, and they do it here in America, and they do it across the globe, and I'm just so honored to know them and to see the work that they do.
Everybody posts for magazines. It's all just noise to me. I feel invincible with my headphones on. Oh, my headphones on. I feel invincible with my headphones on. Oh, my headphones on. I feel invincible with my headphones on.
As president, he's saved literally millions of lives, and he's doing things today that are really important, things that we should all be proud to chip in and support and help. I'd just like to welcome President George W. Bush to the stage.
I'm honored to be here. Bill, thank you very much for this award, and Candy, thank you very much. Many of you have been on one of the missions. A lot of you haven't. So here's what it's like. You're standing there in front of a child who is scared, not sure what the heck's going on. And Bill comes over and says, put this in the kid's ear. And I went, bah. He goes, bah. I go, bah. He goes, bah. I go, really loud, bah. And so does he. And I looked at the mother and she wept. And that's what it's all about. It's beautiful.
I'm here to honor and continue to show my gratitude to a special human being in my life. Knowing Bill and knowing Tanning and being associated with the Starkey Hearing Foundation, the one thing everybody recognizes what they do, who they are, and it's so the world may hear. But out of all of that, you get this one word that really just stands out, and it's love. And I'm so elated to stand here and to say that I love not only Starkey, but Bill and Tanny Austin because of your heart. And today is a special day because today has been declared the William F. Austin Day here in St. Paul. I want you all to stand to your feet and join me in welcoming back to the stage Bill Austin.
In the passage of time, we're like grains of sand in eternity, but we are a force to reckon with. We can change our future. We have the power to change our future and have a better world for our children and grandchildren. All it takes is just reflecting the light, reflecting that love and respect for life and caring. And I just want to be part of that with you. That's why I'm here. And that's what this thing is about, is being part of the good, sharing the work. My whole dream was this. You are the dream team. Thank you.
Delta Zeta Sorority is 250,000 women. Now that can get the job done, I can tell ya. These women are powerhouses. They want to do good in the community. They're all about social responsibility. And we've developed this friendship and this bond as we do this work together. So tonight we're honoring Delta Zeta Sorority.
On a Starkey mission in Matamoros, Mexico, my life changed from the experience of bringing understanding to people through caring and sharing. What I quickly learned is the power of nonverbal communication. When you touch a person's shoulder and look into their eyes and smile, you see understanding. You feel peace. We know there is much work to be done. This is just the beginning of what we will do together.
You know, I've got the great honor of introducing our closing speaker of the evening. You know, I think he embodies everything that, you know, Bill and the foundation is about, from its caring and sharing to the work that they do around the world. Please welcome to the stage the 42nd President of the United States, Bill Clinton.
All over the world today, the biggest challenge we face is that there are too many young people full of energy that can be turned toward positive or negative ends. And the most deadening thing that can happen to you in life is if you think every single tomorrow is going to be just like yesterday. People can work their way out of poverty. They can overcome adversity. But what they can't get over is giving up. Neither can you. Nobody can. When Bill and Tanny empower people through the gift of hearing, it's the gift of hope. All of a sudden, there are options for how to form life. There are decisions you get to make instead of decisions just being made for you. And all your tomorrows don't have to be like yesterday. There is something you can do to solve problems faster and better and very often at lower costs than they're being dealt with today. To embrace more people, to see people who are still invisible within our own country and around the world. I don't think I've ever met a couple with bigger hearts who were any better at continuing to grow inside and outside. You should know that it's because they not only have heart, they have vision. And they have partners, you. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Starkey Foundation. I believe in you. God bless you. Good night.